cutie face on because it's time. I mean, it's a packed party. More women than men. And I mean, the beats are banging. So, no time to be tardy. It's time to party. So come on, get it done. It's time to party. Moving in, waiting for the party to begin. All you need is women, maybe make a few friends. Some of you food and drink, classy atmosphere to link. You think, what a great time. Dog, these women you find. That beats back with rhymes, easily couples combine. A pool part all the signs, that has come up time. Who got your full girl skin soft as wool? Chatting by the pool, dropping God signs jewels. With knowledge, that's a tool. A smile, she knows the rules. Suddenly we catch a vibe, we both felt inside. Talking about how love died, let's learn no more lies. Something special you share.
What's up, player?
Cooling. I'm just trying to get my headphones to work real quick. Every time that they on until I get ready to log on. Here they go. Until I get ready to come on here, and then it shuts off for some reason. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you through my headphones though.
I can hear you though.
Hold on 1 second.
Well, while you doing that, Car Talk, we are back at it again. We are way down the rabbit hole as far as the book that we are discussing. You hey wop hey.
Give me one.
The book of knowledge. Whoop.
I don't know why I can't get
the
on.
Book of Knowledge, Enoch's Keys, sacred book, by the Future Academy of Science, J.J. Hurtak, Hurtak. And today, we're going deeper down the rabbit hole. We're going to start talking about, remember how we used to always talk about Jazzy in the beginning?
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm trying to get my headphones to work. I don't know why my headphones ain't coming in. We're not live yet, are we?
We are live, player. They watching you get your headphones together.
All right.
But we were talking about, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh. Talking about the creation from the Word and flesh, meaning there was a whole something before there was Word and flesh. There was already consciousness going on. So we were just tracking how far back it goes. But while he's doing that, we're going to do a quick little recap. All right. The first few keys that we read were the many in the one and the many in the one universe. All right. What that basically is trying to say that we are part of a greater galactic empire of Earths that are supposed to be all projected to go from Earth level 1, meaning one sun system, to multi-sun systems, going from entropy, which is the decay of matter, to centropy, which is the electrification matter, what you do in your mind when you create, when that light bulb comes on, when you're in the zone. All that is centropy going on. It's controlling you without your actual participation. It can do it all. It's when you know something and believe something. You can't do both. You can only do one or the other. All right, so that's centropy. That's what's happening on the inner us, vital, because what the body is going through is entropy, the decay of matter. All right, we're going to talk about also the Father's many mansions and what are in these mansions. The order of Enoch, the order of Michael, the order of Melchizedek, the Christ energy. All these things are just different levels of energy that build who and what we are. So it's talked about Orion. We talked about Pleiades. Orion be the spiritual aspect of the mind coming down into the physical body on Earth, where Pleiades being the biological breakdown of the body. 9 ether. Why our hair grows to the sun, and we're the only race of people on the planet that have it. Things of that nature. All right. So as we move through, we kept getting opened up to a greater and greater universe, bigger and bigger. So much room in the Father's many mansions. It's incredible. So, Jazzy, you back?
Yeah. Hey, bro. I kind of wanted to do something different today.
Tenfold, talk to me.
I kind of want to reach out to the people. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, bro.
Uh-huh. So like we were saying, everyone, you should at least try or attempt to read the book of Enoch.
Okay, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I kind of want to do something different. Before we get started, let's talk how we got here.
How we got here.
How you
Talk to
got
me.
to.
Start from the beginning.
Okay, like as far as like what I want you to start off with you. Um, because a lot of people they watch and then they're like, okay, well, how did they actually get to where they are, and where's this knowledge coming from, and what was the divine spark that helped you to go ahead from the very beginning? Give your experience of how you always how you
Sure.
know.
So when I was 12, I asked the preacher, well, what was the difference between black and white, the colors? You know what I'm saying? Why do white people look like white people, black people? Why do we act the way we act? Slavery, all that. And the preacher said in so many words that I was like 12, 11, 12. Preacher said, oh, yeah, that's because y'all were in slavery and y'all, not slavery. We were animals and we were barbaric and we came to civilize you. So it never really sat right. So back then at church, all you could do was pray. So I used to pray for knowledge. I was like, man, I want to understand the universe. I want to understand why there's white people, black people, how the colors, what does all this mean? I want to understand why some people seem like they're always on top, others look inferior. What is going on? I want to know. I don't want no spookism. I don't want no
Right,
miracles. I want
right.
to know. I wanted the science. And because of that, I had a near death experience when the spirit just took over my life. I was going to crash the car with my boys in it. It helped us not crash the car with the boys in it. And since then, my whole life has been on this
Hmm.
to know. So I started reading and stuff. Jazzy will tell you in a minute. I used to come to him. I used to come to everybody with the night science, but I was way before my age, way before my day. I listened to all of Bobby Hammett, Brother Panic, Brother Love, the teacher, Chris. Oh, can't believe I can't remember his name. He was
Guy
blind.
from Atlanta too.
No,
That
but
got
he was blind. And he was a great teacher. Oh my gosh. Well, somebody in the comments will say his name, but Brother York,
York.
all of them. I just absorbed energy. I don't care. Farrakhan, whoever was giving out, Elijah Muhammad, whatever's giving the knowledge, I was absorbing. I needed that. And at the time, I didn't realize what I was doing as far as I did want to know, but this was like, damn, this was almost 20 years ago. And it's been digesting and manifesting. So then Jazzy came to me and was like, yo, man, I need to know, man, what's going on. And I was like, man, you got it good. And he was like persistent, like, nope, I want you to show me.
Right.
And this is how car talk started. Me and him just talking in the car to work. His journey to work was like 30 minutes. So we started using that as therapy sessions. I'm gonna let Jazzy take it from there.
Okay, before you go, was there any roadblocks or any what was some of the things on your journey when you first started that kind of was difficult? The alone time, the feeling loneliness, separation, the
You said it.
darkness.
You said it.
I want people to really
It was
understand it.
no one. More people would rather say, "What the hell are you doing? Don't do that. Get away from it," than to say, "Well, I don't understand it, but you seem happy. You ain't out there killing people." You know what I'm saying? But it
Hmm.
was just because they didn't know, it brought fear.
Hmm.
And fear is the opposite of love. So I can't get much. So every time I had to try to express myself in a outlet that wasn't worldly, it was more of a get back in your, shut you down, get back in your cage. No one wants to hear it. You on that da 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 da.
Was there a sense of scariness or any of that kind of stuff in the beginning, or was you the
I did.
unknown?
I had a sense of unknown and the scary,
Hmm.
but it wasn't scary as fact as in like, oh my God, it's scaring me, stopping me from doing what I'm doing. It was more than be like, look, be careful now. I'm gonna give you this magic. You can do this spell, but you gonna hurt a motherfucker. And they knew that wasn't me. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. You see what I'm saying? So it was more of the be careful of what you do. You know, what does Peter Parker always say? With great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
And that's facts. Because if you can't control it, it'll consume you. And this is once, and we talked about this, Jazzy, and you will approach you with that bullshit at every level of achievement. Of that, oh yeah, I'm stronger now. Oh, I'm better. No, break that down. No. I'm just a better me, better I.
Did you ever have a sense where you felt like you wanted to turn around, or was something always saying, nope, this is what you got to do? Or
I always knew there was no turnaround.
Okay.
I had another dream, right after after I met the preacher and all. I had my first original dream, because I normally don't dream. People are like, yeah, you dreamed. I said, Tiffo, but I normally don't dream. Where it's vivid and it's something important to me. I may dream about what happened during the day or you know what I'm saying, but It doesn't really have any relevance, spiritual relevance. It's just recanting the day in the dream.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So I had a dream that I was walking on, I had a dream that I was on a cliff. All right. Now, this was right after I said I wanted to know about the universe. I had a dream that I was on a cliff. Underneath the cliff was darkness. I didn't know what the darkness was. I referred to it as water, essence, whatever. But all I know, inside that darkness wasn't right. I was scared.
Okay.
But way at the middle of this darkness was an island. And I knew I had to get to the island. And it represented the answer to the question when I said, no, I want to know the universe. He said, so the spirit came back with this dark. You got to go way out there to this island to get to where you talking about what you want to know.
Right.
And I was like, let's do it. I'll find a way across. Never actually got in. I just recognized the danger, the likelihood. There we go. Of me doing it at that point was probably 0.05%.
So at what point did the light come on when you was like, oh, I see it now? Where was it like? Was it the car ride or?
It was after the life-altering event. Or was it right before it? It was right after the life-altering event. I had another dream. Now, no, it was way after. It was in my 20s. But it was after that, and I had another dream. And this dream was more of, okay, now where you want to be is right over there, down these stairs, across this parking lot, down these stairs, right there where the two fish, and there was two fish in the yin-yang symbol, swimming around each other. In the yin-yang, in a symbol of bandits, in a shoreline, a pleasant shoreline, boom, boom. So I started walking, and I had heard all this noise behind me. All these people were behind me, like, yeah, everybody, everybody going to the same spot I'm seeing. Just looking like. All of a sudden, we were on the bridge, and the bridge shook. And when the bridge shook, everybody took off, and it was just me again.
Wow.
And then there was a gap between the stairs of where I wanted to go and where I was trying to go down the stairs over to the beach. There was a gap, and I had to take a leap of faith. And I remember leaping. But the issue was when I turned back, not only were the people gone, the path was gone. Basically saying I couldn't turn around if I wanted to.
Wow.
There was no back. There was only forward. Now that was a transition. Because the spirit will even test you, be like, no, I want to see what you about.
And so that became learning how to trust the spirit then, That's
how it early started, without there being a label of try the spirit by the spirit. Without that label that we, someone created, that was the spirit trying you. And then you try the spirit in the same physical, like, oh, I need your help. I need you to get me out of this.
That takes a lot of willpower and determination, because a lot of people would just be like, man, forget it at this point. I don't know what's going on. And then always the unknown is what is fearful and that scares people. Is when when you
Right.
can't, you know what I mean? If you can't see, but so far ahead of you, it's dark at that point. You know what I'm saying? Then that light that divine light that's within, that's guiding you, that's the thing that's gotta, and you gotta trust that. And that's very hard to do,
That's
especially
that inner you.
at a younger age. I think a lot of people may go ahead as they get older, because first of all, when you're younger, you feel like you got a lot of more time. So that's one of the things. Like when you're young, you got all the time in the world, carefree. Then when you start to get older, and then you start to put things together, then you
Mm.
like, you know what? Something is, it's not
Something
making
ain't
sense
right.
here. Yeah, and then you start to put things in your head, and then you start to look at patterns of things that you've done before. You're like, okay, you know what? I've done this, I've done that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. So why not should I try something that may get me to somewhere that I haven't been before? That part right there is kind of scary when you're young.
I mean, the issue when I was young, only because I was the middle child,
Hmm.
I was the black sheep, whatever, the bad child, busy. I mean, I was, I'll say I was high energy. I ain't gonna say I was hyper, but I was high energy, things of that nature. But I needed all of that. And I needed it to go medicated because they wanted to put me on Ritalin.
Mm.
And my mom was like, no, if I can handle him at home, you can handle him in school. He ain't that goddamn bad now. He ain't throwing tantrums and none of that crap. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He just gets into a lot of stuff. He does it at home. He does it at the rec center. it's,
Did you
it's a
did you
trend.
have did you have any influence though? Like I mean, like anybody else in your family, or was it just you? Or did you see it somewhere else? Or that's what I'm saying. These are the kind of questions
When
that
I
some
when
people
I
be
was
asking me.
young, it was me on me.
Mm,
I could only go by. See, where most people didn't listen to that inner spirit, that's all I had
mm-hmm,
was me talking to me and didn't even realize it. It's all I had. My best friend was me.
mm. And
When
you
I
know
get
what?
punished, it was me. When
Mm-hmm,
I get lied on and one of my brothers and I get a spanking, it was me. Me talking. How can they do this to me? I
you
thought I
know,
was loved.
see the thing today though, what I think is different too, mental, is because back then when we were younger, the distractions was like if you got a whooping or if you got punishment, you went to your room. You didn't have no TV. You didn't have no phone. You didn't have. You
None.
just had you and your
You
imagination to go
reflect
ahead.
on what just happened.
I mean, I
Good,
mean, and
bad,
then
or indifferent.
and sometimes like if you was on punishment, you could look outside. If you outside your window, you see all the other kids out there playing. But you know what? You're in the house. It's you on you at that time. See, that's what's missing. I think a lot happening today is that a lot of people don't have that you time no more. You know what I mean? Because like back then, like I said, when I got on punishment, my dad was not playing. He was like, "Yo, you ain't going outside. You ain't watching TV. You're gonna go to your room. If you got any homework, if it's school time, after
Bring it
that,
out.
you better figure something out, but you're going to stay in your room. You know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of time to reflect. That's almost like punishment is a building stage, almost
It
like
can
even
be.
it can. Just like the people that get incarcerated, if they use it for a sit down and a reflection to go ahead and better themselves, for to think about the things that they did and how can I out when I get out, how can I do better, and what steps am I gonna do to make sure I'm not back here again. See, we don't have a lot of those things today. The kids today, what they do, and I just noticed it like with my daughter the other day. That's why I said I kind of wanted to just do something a little different, just to
Mhm.
because like one of the things that I realize is like she don't know how much she's spoiled. You know what I mean? I mean, this girl is like spoiled
But
rotten, right?
Jazzy, how could she? She only has one parent. Well, one set of parents. She only know
Right.
which, and she may even be naive enough to think, like I used to think, that every family does this to their kids. So it's not that she don't know.
Yeah, and that's the point. That's what you know what that's what I'm getting at. Like, so the other day, something she did, and I was like, because her mom was like saying this, that, or whatever, and I was like, you know what? How about this? No YouTube today, and no cell phone. And she was like, okay. You know what she did?
Wow. She went to the tablet.
She flipped it hard on me. She went ahead and said, okay, I'll just pull out my arts and crafts. She got, those little Stanley Cup things.
See what I'm saying?
She went ahead, mental, I got to get it for you. Hold on, keep talking.
No, go, you get it later. Keep going with the flow. Okay, I like the flow.
Okay,
keep going.
Okay. Well, she made this Stanley Cup, right? And she got like 4 of them. Her mom keeps getting her all these Stanley Cups because it's the thing on TikTok or whatever. So she made this little one about this big, right? And it looked just like the real thing. I mean, she got the straw in it. She had went and typed on the computer to make the logo. So she got the logo on it. It looked like a miniature mug that you drink out of. And I was just like, you see what I mean? If you just go ahead and use your mind, your intuition, this part right here. And that's what I said now. I'm just like, you know what? We're going to start doing the cell phone break thing a week.
There you go. Now that's what I'm talking about. See, that's the lesson. When we intermingle, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I hope he knows what the lesson is. Because if he don't, I'm sure about to say it. That's the lesson. Some girl, it's arts and craft time. Then take the arts and crafts. I'm going to go make me jewelry. All right, now we got jewelry time. We keep doing it. As many things you can think of, we can put a time slot for it.
Yeah.
Right. That's the lesson. I love that.
Because the thing is, I realized, because this week I told you I was under the weather. This is the first time, mental. I never get sick. I mean, never, ever, really, ever get sick. I mean, this week, oh my God, man, I felt like it was pressure here. It was like holding me down. I was just like, what the hell is going on? My throat was burning. I was coughing. I was like breaking out chills here and there. I was under the cover, man. I didn't answer my phone. Unless it rung, I didn't pick up. I didn't do no texting. I wasn't even thinking about social media. I was just like, man. And I told you what happened was that when I went into that dream state, and then when I went to sleep, I went to a point when I was in my dream that I felt everything leave my body. I mean, my whole body, I seen my whole body to the side. And then I just felt like I seen that little black dot.
Were you afraid?
No. You know what? The thing with I heard Spirit say, you know what? Let it all go. Just release. And then I was like, and I was like, fuck it. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what? Before, like, maybe 10 years ago, I would have been afraid. But the picture in my dream when I seen like a little dot, like with my soul. Then it was something that was connecting to my body. And I seen my body just a shell just floating. It was just like empty. It was just like empty. Just like this. Empty, nothing. And
without that essence in it, it's nothing.
And then what I heard the Spirit say was just like, what are you worried about? It's like, your body needs to heal right now. That's why the whole thing is, it's a time that you've been running, you've been doing the night thing, you've been ripping and running for your daughter, for your home, this, that, or whatever. You haven't had no time to really physically rest.
Do nothing. That's key. Resting, doing nothing and resting is the next level of resting when you're doing nothing. But go ahead.
So, and then that's what Spirit was just like, you know what? I had to do it. This had to happen enough just for me to go ahead and get proper rest.
Once again, Jazzy, you keep doing it. The lesson. Remember I told you everything that happens to us is for the lesson. What's the lesson in it? Rest. You get sick, what's the lesson in it?
Rest.
You get hit by a car, what's the lesson in it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You late for work because there's a traffic jam, what's the lesson in it? There's a lesson in everything. But it's up to us to realize it and not get emotional. Because once we become emotional, we lose sight of what the whole lesson is.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
we're bound to repeat it. This shit is
yo,
crazy.
this has
Go ahead.
been this year. Remember, we was talking last year about how um this year would be totally different for us, that we would be
Mm-hmm.
at a whole different level spiritually than what we were before. And I named some of the things that I was gonna I was just naming it last year. I said next year this time this that whatever whatever whatever. I can actually go back and say I'm crossing off the things that what we talked about. Like okay, like the biggest thing was I was tired of my job. You know what I
Right.
mean? I
You
was
definitely want
tired.
to get rid of that.
Yo, when I
When I met you, that was one of the gripes. Fucking job. It is what it is, though. I know what you're saying. Keep going. Because you said a lot of things, but that was number one. That was number one.
Oh man, I hate driving all the way out in the country every night, and then I hated going in on Sunday night.
What's up, Desi?
Hey, Miss Desi. So I hated it, man. But on the way to work, we used to go ahead and get a half hour or whatever, 45 minutes in, drive talk. We would be doing our spiritual talk. Then we start bringing people in. And then I was like, y'all keep talking. I'm going to listen while I'm inside work. Remember, I was like, y'all keep talking. As soon as I go clock in, I'm going to go ahead and be back on and I'll be listening. I may not be able to. So, but the whole thing about it, I hate it, man. It wasn't some of the people there. It was just the whole environment. I've gotten to the point
Yeah.
where I just couldn't spiritually, it was draining me at that point. Because at first you was like, bro, just be glad that you have all the time in the world that you can get you a spiritual check while you right, because I was able to talk on my phone, I was able to
Right.
listen to
You
lectures,
can,
I was
but
able to
think of it.
do
Hold on, no. While you saying that about the job,
hmm
think of what it allowed you to do in your time that you needed spiritual resurrection and
hmm
uplifting and
hmm
empowerment. It let you get it all.
well, yeah, I can't say that. It
Just going, having to take the time to go to the job came to be the actual blessing of how car talk even started in the first place.
hmm
Everything that was something you didn't like turned into a
right, but
positive.
some right.
Ain't that something?
Yeah. So that's why you know what? I am thankful. I am thankful that I even had the opportunity because what happened, I was at the job that I'm returning back to in a couple weeks. I was working there first, and then I because when I had moved back here to Rochester, I started working. I was like, let me go back to my old job. So I went back there, and they wouldn't hire me permanent at that time, so I had to be contract. So what happened was they said, "Oh yeah, we gonna." They kept trying to go ahead, but my boss couldn't get no opening for me.
Uh-huh.
So what happened? You can only work 18 months at the job before they go ahead and have to lay you off for 6 months because they don't want to give you insurance. You know, New York
Wow.
State, they would have to give you insurance if they keep
I
you
know
on.
what you're saying.
So what happened? They was like, just stay put. We'll call you back. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this time. My daughter was just born. I was like,
Oh, there you go.
then my grandson came. So I was just like, you know what? I I had time. I kept them and stuff like that. And then plus I just said, all right, unemployment. So all the way up until my job, they kept saying, we're gonna call you back. We're gonna call you back. But then a guy that I trained while I was there was at the job that I just left. He went
Yeah.
to my job that I just left. He's like, yo, bro, they paying you. You could say 25 if you want to, to start whatever. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
word? He's like, yeah. He said, I'm telling you, man. And he said it's no contract. You hire permanently. And he said the only thing is that it's way out in the country. And he said it's pretty good work. And I said, yeah.
The only thing.
Yo, that shit was fire in the wintertime, boy. That
I
snow
already
come.
know. I already know.
Yo, so I was
That
just
was
like,
whew.
so I was like, man, I was like, this is something, So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take it. So my job, they called me back and they was like, I said, nah, I'm kind of set because if you're not gonna hire me permanent, I got this job right here, right now. I worked there for the last 8 years, overnights. They opened up the shift. It was nobody on the shift but me at first.
Mm.
Then they put another guy. So basically, it was only two people working on my shift. I had no supervisors. I had I could go and come as I wanted to. I mean, it was a blessing in disguise. So, you know, I was still taken care of, but it was just the legalities of how I was being treated while I was there. You know, by being the only
Right.
black person, you know, being you know, and then like, you know how the game go. So I just was like, so. But the thing about it, it gave me a chance to dive in my spirit. That was like what happened to my daughter when you say, you know what, okay, you know, you're gonna take my cell phone away. You're gonna take the It gave me time to tap into YouTube, my resources and stuff, and then I listened to hours. I mean, when I was at work, 8, 9, 10 hours, I was listening to Panic 10-hour lectures. I was listening to all. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to
Bro, that shit
all
is
the science.
valuable. It is so valuable. Because when I used to work at Xerox back in the 90s, when in the hey, was doing so well, we had the new printers coming out. And then after that, there was just like downtime. We used to go out to eat. We used to do all types of stuff. And I used to sit there and read books, download stuff off the internet, read books, read books. You know what I'm saying? I think what I like about what's going on right now is now there's a fever. People actually want to know. They actually want, you know what I'm saying? Now, you still got a lot of people that don't care. We ain't saying that, but I'm saying there's more people now that really want to know, well, what is really going on? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, something's going on with the church that ain't right. Religion, something's going on with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be the first to tell you, if you can't go on the inside of you and you are programmed by what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good, which me and Jazzy call the sugars, the 5 sugars, they got a whole world of diabetics out here because that's what they attract you away from yourself. All right? So, if you can go into yourself through meditation, contemplation, prayer, all that, asking, going, seeking. Spirit and truth is in all of us. Go ahead, Jazzy.
So what happened is just like, you know, like, so for those past 8 years, right, that I was working at that job. Now my job, I'm gonna have to work now. That's the only thing. I'm gonna have to work now.
You gotta do some work.
I'm gonna have to do some work. But the thing about it, I'll have my weekends off. You know, I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah. So, and then I'll have the evenings off to be, you know, home with my family and stuff. So the thing about it is just that I was looking at it and I was just like, so every time before you advance to go to a new stage in life, even when you read some of the scriptures, they went off into the wilderness. They went off and fasted for so many days, this, that, or whatever.
By themselves.
8 years of that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then like,
poor child.
It was 8 years, man. It was long. I mean, but the thing about it, it was I got beat down a lot spiritually throughout that time. And it gave me a lot of time to sit there and think consciously. And then, I mean, I was still, you never stop learning, you know what I'm saying? But I was still getting spiritual whoopings and everything all the way up until I left, man. I mean, I was just sitting there and then it was like, well, nigga, I mean, you still do it, nigga, you still do, you know, and I was just like, then your ancestors are sitting up there going like,
like, oh my God, this dude ain't learned his lesson. Are you kidding me? But a phrase you do say, I don't care how you get there, as long as you get there.
Get there, right.
I don't care how long it takes, as long as you get there, because the truth has one road and all roads lead to it. So once you get there, you're there. And then the realm of knowing can be exposed, because once you know, you cannot, this is another thing we tell people all the time, you cannot know something and believe something at the same time. You cannot. Either you know you have 2 hands or you believe you have 2 hands. So, and belief means doubt. Because if I say I believe Jazzy's a good person, I believe he is. But if I say I know he's a good person, then I know. But belief means doubt.
Or another thing is just like, you know what? Man, but whenever you say that word but, it's just like somebody saying, I really love you, but, you know, that but, everything that comes
what is it? Not objection, obsession. Then, you know, but.
Yeah. So the truth comes in. The truth is always going to come in. It's just at what point. And then so whatever somebody's saying all the way up until you get to the part where you say, but then
Start listening, because here we go. This is
that's
the
what
fine print on the drug label. This is what they say at the end of the drug commercial. It can cause anal bleeding, your heart palpitations.
Yeah, you won't be able to breathe at night. You know what
Right. But you will be cured from yellow toes.
I'm saying?
Your
Yeah.
toes will be white.
Yeah. But you wake up in the next morning and your back got green
Oh my
dots all
goodness.
over. You know what
Woo. And
Yo,
it's funny you should say that, because we're in this next energy form of healing. Heal thyself. Heal
mhm,
thyself. Stop going to
mhm,
these hospitals. Heal
mhm,
thyself. Because
mhm,
the hospitals are based off a 40-year-old white man. And
mhm.
I will tell you right now, a 40-year-old white man and a 40-year-old black man are two different physiological, different beings.
Mhm,
Biologically, we're different.
mhm,
We have different enzymes and things that go in that other races don't. But
mhm.
I'm just saying, so you be very careful. Now,
You
if
know
you're
what?
taking their drugs, I'm gonna tell you to do what you do what they do. Do what they tell you to do.
You know what I
But there's a
did?
natural way for everything. Go ahead,
I,
Jazzy.
Spirit said, you know what? You always telling everybody how to use your products and everything. Use your own shit. Yo,
You selling it, but ain't using it.
yo, I took my elderberry syrup and boom.
And you bounce right back. See, this is what I'm saying. It's crazy.
yo, yo, I'm telling you, it don't get it don't make no more clear sense than this, mental. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said it's just like, wow, man. And a lot of things that's been happening over. That's why I said, while I was sick, I got well, while I was under the, you know, not my highest level of energy. I ain't gonna
Uh-huh.
say I'm not buying into the whole sick
Your
thing.
body's energy was low. Go ahead.
Right. So I was being attacked, by so the thing is I had to go ahead and I was like, you know what? It's like, nigga,
Being
you got
attacked by who?
my lower self. My
Ooh.
own, you know what I'm saying?
What did
The
that
whole
feel
thing,
like? No, I want to go into this. What does that feel like when you're being attacked by your lower self?
hey, I had that's why I said when I laid down and then my spirit, when I was in my dream, it said, nigga, let that shit go. Let everything go.
Let it go.
Let it go. He said, whatever it is, let that shit go. Because look, right now, look at you. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting up here, you can't do shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like at a point where I was just like, you know what? I told you, I seen that dot and I seen that my
The
body just
cord.
hanging, and I was just like, I was just like, let it go, man. Let all of that. And then that was like the final stage, like before I can go ahead and just like, and then I woke up and I was like, you know what? A lot of this shit, it don't even matter, man. What really matters? What really truly
Right.
matters? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
and that's a
Redefining life on your terms, not what
mm-hmm,
someone taught you, not your mom
mm-hmm,
and dad's term, your
mm-hmm,
uncles, not your friends, not
mm-hmm,
Telelight Vision, not your favorite philosopher. No, your
mm-hmm.
terms, because you
So
got to live it.
and the whole thing is spending more time with yourself, man. That's the whole thing. That's what we always tell people because we went through certain periods of time where we had to spend a lot of time with ourselves. Like even those late nights when I was working, that dark company by myself, I was that seed in the ground. You know what I'm saying? I was in the ground. I was waiting. I was being watered. I was being watered by the lectures and everything. Then when I
Mhm.
get off, I go get my rest, and then that was the sun. You know what I'm saying? And boom, you know what? So now, so my last day was last month, the 23rd. I was supposed to start on the first, but my date got pushed back. So, and then you know what? Sparrow's like, okay. It's like, you know what? You have more time to rest. You have more time to get things done, what you need to get done. So, and then, because I had still 2 weeks left of vacation time. So when I left my job, my the second shift supervisor, I felt bad for him, man, because he was my boy, because he used to, when I didn't know the job at first, he used to come back in and everything and show me, work with me. He's like, nobody else would
Yeah.
give two shits for me out there, but this dude, And you know, I love this brother, man. You know, and he was real cool. So what happened? He told me when I couldn't even tell him that, you know, I already remember I was talking to you about mental. I'm getting ready to leave. The job called
Right.
me.
You didn't never
So
couldn't tell him
I
beforehand.
couldn't. Yeah. So the day when I went, I typed up the email and I sent. I was like, as of this day, my last day will be the 23rd. You know, unfortunately, you know, breaks my heart,
Uh-huh.
but you know, I found a little bit a place closer to home, and it makes more sense. So, and then when he read, I came into work. He's like, "Damn, Will, you couldn't even tell me." I was like, "Bro."
I did tell you when I sent you the email.
I was like, I couldn't tell you ahead of time, you know, because I tell him, I mean, he covered for me. He did so much
I know
stuff
what you're
for me,
saying.
you know. So I mean,
You ain't want to put him in that predicament, though. You know what I'm saying? Where
and
he
he
has
wasn't
to
even,
be
and he was more my supervisor than anybody else because I didn't deal with no bosses, no supervisors until the morning. I seen
right.
sometimes my manager or supervisor, I seen them twice in the last year. You know what I'm saying? And I only seen one because I came into a meeting that they said I didn't have to go to, and then I just dressed up. I told you I went in I wore
Address
the
the
button.
issues.
I wore the button up and everything, the company shirt,
Well, look, the
everything.
good thing is all that's behind you, brother.
Hey, but the thing is,
Lesson learned.
what I want to say to people that's out there, you know, that's listening, and that if you catch this on the rewind, hopefully this is an inspiration that even in your darkest times when you feel like you're not, there's still a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to stay on your plan, on your purpose. You know what I'm saying? When you had that intuition, this here right here, and then you can see and you can and it's all right here when you feel that feeling up in here and then here, and you know that something is better or that's coming for you or that you have to stay. Even though the biggest thing, um I'm already a patient guy.
Hmm.
However, this thing it did teach me over these last 8 years is patience because the whole thing is patience is not an action. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's something that is just you just is
I would say
diligence.
it's an action. Patience can be an action word.
Patience
When
is
you're
more.
doing it, it's in
It's
action.
it's in action, but it's not an action though. It's you're sitting waiting.
That's an action. So
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
nothing is an action.
yeah.
It's
That's
just
true.
doing
That's true.
lack of action.
That's true. Just like
You know what
there's
I'm
always
saying? Because it
consciousness,
takes
even where
it
there isn't.
obviously because it takes effort to do. Now, if it didn't take any effort to do, it wouldn't be an action. Anything it takes effort for is an action.
Mhm. It's a virtue.
Oh yes, with lack of patience is a spirit killer.
That right there. That right there. If you
Nigga,
don't have
that's
it,
one of the first things I learned in the spirit, nigga. Lack of patience
nigga,
is a spiritual killer. Okay,
you
you ain't going nowhere if you ain't got patience, because it's never
hey,
gonna happen on your time.
hey,
Never.
even if you try, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna jack
Well,
your
you
ass
got to
up.
remember the spirit world is working faster. It's on a faster frequency than ours.
Hmm.
So we advance to get to it through
Hmm.
mind expansion. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Through going inside, leaving the physical body alone and traveling up through that dot back to other realities.
Hmm.
It's funny you should say that because that's what the key of Enoch was about to talk about, the different languages.
Hmm.
Oh, let's
Okay.
see. Uh,
What's somebody saying? Can you read that mental?
the perspective is imperative, but any thoughts take action, be it physical or non-physical. Facts.
Hmm.
Facts. But the perception, what are we doing? Where are we trying to go? What are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to get
Hmm.
with these thoughts? Most of
Hmm.
people's thoughts are so
It's
what goes
self.
so material. What
Yeah,
looks good,
self
feels good, tastes
things.
good, sounds good, right?
Things.
Things.
Hmm.
Now, once you go off of things and you want to know non-material things,
Hmm.
this causes the mind to start searching out different ways to transduce, which means
Hmm.
taking energy from one type of form, a spiritual form, and turn it into a mental form
Hmm.
so that you can use it. It doesn't turn it into Japanese, it'll put it in English and talk to
Hmm.
you. This is
Talk.
what we're saying.
Hey, explain the transducers that we are about the battery. that's something that is kind of good right now too.
Well, so in your mind, you have this is also in my book. Oh, I should have grabbed my book, Overstanding Darkness. I talk about how when we start reaching out into the immaterial, into the darkness, our brain and our mind start sinking. So we start to develop sensory receptors for higher frequency. They go through the pineal gland. But as long as we're trying to go outside or and the inner us, leaving the body behind, the sensory perceptors then transform and make sensory transducers that actually take the energy we're seeking from this nothingness, bring it in, transduce it, mean turn it into something that we can all use. Peace, Miss L. Peace.
Peace.
And turn it into something that we can all use and we can hear. That's that download. That's that epiphany. That's that that lightning flash, that light bulb when it pops on. You see what I'm saying? So the more we reach out, this is what the saying in the Bible says: if you take one step to the spirit will take two steps to you. If you think inner you think spirit, you think soul, you think other realms, you think immaterial, you think in darkness and light it up, that is automatically going to take steps that in your physical brain are going to start to have these transducers, these that your quantum computer is going to start functioning off of different energy, not just physical energy from food and water. Now you can start functioning off of energies of life. You won't even need to eat or drink if that's the case. Your body can be totally waned because now you're in a higher thought realm. You remember we talked about entropy and centropy. These are key things that we got to understand. Entropy is the decay of matter, how our body breaks down. Centropy is the electrification of matter. It's our thoughts, our mind. So think about it. If you can electrify your mind enough, it's going to enter the body. When it enters the body, it enters as healing energy through your thoughts. Or it can enter the body as damning energy through your hate. Same through love and through hate. It's going to go whatever way you want to do it. So, whatever way, I'll read in a minute, whatever way you are going to look at the spiritual energy and how it was transduced down into you. If you're a hateful person, you're going to get a lot of transducing of hateful energy. If you're a loving person, you're going to get a lot of transducers that get formed for love, energy, healing, rebuilding. Capital L love, conscious. It's a conscious love, not just a love as an action word, but a conscious love that flows. Oh, let's see. Mysteria Arcade, he's put in, I just bought a book. Lisa told me it's fire. What is it? What's the book, sir? Oh, Peace, Chefness. I'm hoping that's the book. Chiefness. Peace, Chiefness. Peace. So I'm hoping, say the book that you're talking about from Miss Visa. So these are key principles. Every time we think a certain way, we are electrifying matter. We are giving it energy that's coming from an infinite source. Okay, that's why thoughts are so important. That's why we're at war. We're not at war physically. We're at war in the mind and in the spirit. They're trying to control what looks good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good, tastes good, feels good. They're trying to control that so they can control the person that's controlled by it.
Isn't that something that, like when you think of war, like you're a military dude, you know what I'm saying? So you know how it is where they put a gun in your hand and put you on the line and they say this, that, or whatever. And you got to be willing to go ahead and die for it.
Yes.
I mean, so now just imagine that's out there, but we still have this stuff going on in our mind too.
Facts. Miss Amor Ra, Amun Ra, I'm assuming it says. Nah, I got it now, baby. I'm sorry, I'm a little slow on it. Knowledge Sunday, give thanks and abundance gratitude. Thank you, love. Thank you.
Peace.
Oh, look at you, Mysterious Arcade. That's how you do. He said the book he was talking about was Overstanding Darkness by Michael Kemp. That's me. Much love, my
Yeah,
brother. Much
yeah.
love, much love.
So mental. I
And
just
if
want to
you
touch
look,
on.
hold on. If you look at the back of the book, it goes over transducers and
Mhm,
sensory receptors, and it
mhm,
also goes on how that affects the melanin,
mhm,
how we go through photosynthesis.
mhm,
Okay, you got to pay
mhm,
attention to that because these are things that people that don't have massive amounts of melanin and hair that doesn't grow to the sun do not have. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm just trying to uplift our poor people that has been downtrodden from the beginning. Everywhere we go, we catch hell in every country, in every place,
mhm,
and we're the original. So,
mhm.
not trying to say anything
Light.
else. Go ahead,
The light.
Jazzy.
So I was going to say, that comes to the point where you, at some point where you get that aha moment. You know what I'm
Uh huh.
saying? Now, so like while I was working and everything, and then like when me and you, we going back and forth, and then I'll be sitting there, and then at work, and then I may be something that we just got through talking about, and then all of a sudden, Spirit say, you know what? Tune into Miss Blue, tune into Brother Panic, tune into Dr. York, tune into Brother Valentine, So lately it's been, like on Black Magic. I
Uh
was
huh.
there for a long time. But man, I'm gonna tell you the biggest aha moment that came to me, since me and you, when we've been starting to get everything together, was Seven Bomer. Remember when he was talking about
Yeah.
um forgiveness and everything? How
Uh
you
huh.
had that was like the biggest thing. I forgot which one it was, but I got it saved. Man, if I had it, I would suggest everybody listen to the
The name of
Seven
the book
Bomer.
you can't remember.
Hmm?
What was the name of the book?
No, it's Seven Bomer, the video that me and you
Oh, the
was
video.
listening
What's
to.
the name of the video?
I forgot. It was on he was on it was I think it was
Yeah. Seven Boomar be on that. He be down the rabbit hole with us.
man, that
Deep down the rabbit hole, y'all. When
remember
we
me.
say when we say deep down the rabbit hole, we're just talking about these things that no one ever talks about. These
Mhm,
high spiritual concepts, these otherworldly things. That's what Bobby Hammett was on. That was Brother Valentine, Panic. All of us were talking about things that were vital
mhm,
for our inner soul, what
mhm,
nurtures us, what feeds us, what makes us whole, what makes us in a world and not of it.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
that allows us to bring that power down, but it's out there, but it's under this dark cloud of black magic, devil worship, Luciferian stuff. All that's your stuff.
mhm.
From the Christ energy to the devil, all that's your stuff. All of it.
All
It's
was
just
inside
trying
of
to
you.
mix it up so that you don't ever put it together.
Mhm,
The languages, the different ways things happen. Because when you start learning from multiple sources, from Egyptian and Tibetan and the Mayan and the Chinese and the Tibetan, now all these things start lining up your inner you, your light
mhm,
body, so that you can achieve more greatness, know more. Because it's all about knowing.
mhm,
How much knowing can I fit in this physical body without it bursting?
mhm. That's the
Okay.
that's the that's the issue with religion. Like me and my daughter, mine, we was talking about how like the reason why a lot of religions is because they concentrate on one area. If they were to go ahead and just say, look, okay, we're gonna study Tibet, we're gonna study, we're gonna do a week study on Muslim, if we're gonna do a week study on Buddhism. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You need to have it all. You can't just concentrate on one area. Because if you try to go ahead, especially like in Christianity, the biggest thing is because so many books were left out. And that's what we've been talking about.
Well, see,
So the whole
I
thing,
talked right. We talked about that the other
yeah,
day. The
yeah.
Hebrew Bible got 14 more books, 15 more books. The Jewish Bible, I think, got a few more books, and then but there's over 200 and some, 243 books
So what they're doing is
of a given Bible. But go ahead, of
they're
Scripture.
concentrating you and bringing you to one point where you will not ever grow outside of that. You will
But
never
what's
know.
the first thing they tell you? I don't need but one. A
You will,
preacher will sit there and say, if you quote anything outside the Bible, it don't matter.
mhm. First of
Like
all,
nothing in. Go ahead.
Get all the books first before you can say
Well, listen, he's not a Christian for nothing.
that.
I
Right?
mean, if you're a Christian, you got to follow some type of rules. The good thing about being a spirituality, the good thing about being a scientist, I follow the rule of truth. Does it work? Like Bobby Hemmett used to say, is it working or
Right.
not working? Because if it don't work, I don't want it either.
It should manifest.
Okay, right. The
It should
one thing,
manifest.
look, the one thing the Caucasian is good at, when something don't work, he don't spend no goddamn time on it.
Because you know why? Because time is money for
He
him.
moves right on. It ain't working. I'm good. Man, I'm a scientist, bro. I don't take it personally if my scheme didn't work. If my magic didn't work, I got to do better.
Hey,
But don't look at it as a failure. You look at it as, okay, I got to do better. I got to be more concentrated, because that's all magic is, concentration. Your level of concentration will actively determine your degree of achievement. Magic.
Do your own magic.
Do your own magic.
Hey,
Your
that's
level
the
of
whole.
concentration.
Do your
All right.
own magic. That's the thing too. So like one of the things, like, you know, I never really do the spell stuff and all of that. You know what I'm saying? If anything I'm gonna do is gonna be for protection, or, you know, just to put my mind in a place where to activate who I already am. You know what I'm saying? So it's not for me to be like, ooh, you know, because that's the first thing when people come is like, you know, they want to. How can I manifest money? How can I do this? How can I do that?
Look, I'm gonna tell people right now, you're always protected. The only difference is whether you realize it or not.
That's what I said. It's just for me to go ahead and get my mind to the point, just to go ahead and be like, you know what?
Can you see the protection?
Yeah, right.
Can you see it activated in your life? But once again, to see it, you got to concentrate on something that is not seen. It's not. It doesn't feel good, look good, taste good, sounds good, smell good. Nothing to do with these eyes. It's got to do with the third eye, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the hippocampus. Those are your three wise men. They activate in a trinity. Take you to that next level. You got 12 cranial nerves around the pineal gland. Those 12 cranial nerves represent the 12 zodiac. Like a clock, your pineal gland represents that black dot in the middle. When you become in the physical, we go through space and time. That's where the arms start coming in. Okay, everything is a representation of you. There's no, all these planets they keep saying they go into, they're illuminaries. There's nothing to land on. They can't get past the firmament.
Because they can't get outside themselves.
Right, they can't get past the firmament. Because they can't go inside themselves. The only way out is in. This shit is crazy. I know it sounds messed up. This is the spiritual stuff. It's almost opposite of what you learn in the physical. That's why you have to unlearn, relearn, and unlearn, relearn, and learn again.
That's the most difficult part, because that never stops. Because you got to look at it like, I'll be 55 in September. So my thing is like, so more than half of your life, grades K through 12,
lies.
You're taught to go ahead.
Lies.
Even
Christopher Columbus discovered America. Everybody knows now he did not.
Even though
Alexander was not great, he was a killer along with Christopher Columbus. Most of their people we see were killers, slaveholders, monsters.
Hey, they say they came on ships here, and then they went. They came, and then they to the people of this land, and they say, "Hey, look, we want you to bow your heads and pray with us, and we're gonna." And then they gave you the Bible. Then they opened their eyes, and all the land was taken. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like this whole thing has been all mass deception.
Well, see, you got to remember, melanin has conscience, meaning it actually carries moral principles. It actually carries a consciousness, a way to follow, an internal guide, an internal compass to follow. Okay, when your pineal gland is activated. It's an internal compass, not an outside compass. So it doesn't matter what happens outside of you. All right. So when you have your internal compass activated and you're using love as your focus, which way you gonna go? in this eternal compass. You use love. Now you are in a world and not of it. I
Not of
can't say it enough. This is the biggest thing I learned, Jazzy, early, that I was going to be in a world and not of it. Because everything I think, everything I like to do, everything I like to talk about, no one wants to do it. So if you're out there and everything you want to do, everyone's doing, and everything you talk about, everybody's talking about, you in the world. It's okay.
Remember that was one of the. Remember we did lectures on that video that we watched. We watched it for a week, and I think Miss Desi and Miss Aisha, when they were part of it too. It was around the time with Seven Bomar, and I sent it.
I remember.
But it was
you broke
the one
it
with
down.
the capital L, capital O, capital V, capital E. Remember that guy that he broke down about conscious love and then eternal love? I still got that saved too. But we went off that for like weeks. I mean, because that hit so solid about love. I mean, and that's the whole thing about it, is that you can't do nothing without love. I don't care. I mean, it ain't nothing
you can't
happening.
do nothing in the spirit and moving the soul and becoming spiritually activated. But if you were with me when we were talking about the book of Enoch, the book of knowledge, what does the Father keep talking about? You can't exist in the Father's universe. Father being a symbol, not an actual person. Representing the Father of everything. You can't exist in his multi-universes, his mansions of many worlds, without elongating his love that's in you. It's in every person on this earth. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be alive.
But the sad part is that they go ahead and they try to put it in a box. You know what I'm saying? And you can only...
They got a cube. That's the cubing of the circle. That's when the square is inside a circle. The circle is perfect. The square seems perfect, but it's angular. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and you still get 360. But within the square, you can have fire, earth, water, air. Now you can have physical. See, this whole physical form is a way for us to experience something in our natural form we can never experience. Death, decay. We would never experience this in the other form because we can't die. So while we're down here, we're supposed to get the most out of this, but we're not supposed to be fearful for death. There's no such thing. If we knew that there's no such thing as death, that this whole function of death and entropy is encased in centropy, meaning it can't exist without being able to be resurrected. No one would fear death. If no one felt death, people would be freer to do what they need to do.
Because if
death
you
is
took that
the
away,
number one. This is why the church preaches that fire and brimstone. Hell. Because they know you're not going to do any investigation on what happens when you die, besides what they tell you. You're going to believe what they tell you. Demons, demons, all people are going to come.
You're going to burn forever, you know.
But the kids nowadays, that means nothing. As far as they're concerned, they're burning in hell now. They don't give a damn. So the church ain't even appealing. Because you ain't giving them nothing. I can go to church right now and hear the same shit I heard when I was 15. That's ridiculous.
But
I'm 52.
You know what the thing,
That's
though?
ridiculous.
You know what I did notice, though? Is that a lot of... Because I know a lot of pastors and preachers and stuff like that. So I listen sometimes. And then they're using a lot of science now in their messages. They are
getting better. No, I'm with you. I know what you're saying. They're trying to update.
Because they have to. You know what I'm saying? Because they cannot survive on the same stuff that they did when we were kids.
They've been saying. It's outdated.
Because just the whole story, just listening to that, like I was watching the movie, Your Honor. You got to watch that. It's on Netflix. Very good series. The girl, she's like a atheist or whatever. She doesn't believe, but she says
I seen that. I'm gonna check it out. Now I looked at it, but I was like, nah, I'm good. It's fire. Spiritual. You know, I'm gonna get the download. Facts. I'm gonna check it out.
So many things in the movie, man. So many things.
That's what Brother Panic used to love, dissecting movies. But go ahead.
But she was like, just like her parents were mobsters, first of all, right? They were mob family. So she had a baby and I ain't gonna tell you how she had the baby, but it's
Go ahead.
crazy. But she had a baby, and then her parents had the nerve to go ahead and want her baby to be Christian, and they're mobsters. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, she wanted to get her Christian as a baby, and then she was like, "How you gonna go ahead and tell me about somebody that says that they love me?" And when I read a story, it said that he told him this man to go take his son and put him on the altar, take a knife and get ready to stab him and
Right.
kill him. And then, and then he goes and the son puts all the wood up, and then he's like, okay, where's the sacrifice, Dad? Where's the this, that, or whatever? And then he said, I need you to lay down up here. He's like,
You the sacrifice, son. But let's be real.
yo,
What type of father do you want to follow? If that's it. So I'm with you. I'm with you in what you're saying, but go ahead.
So that's what she was saying. She was like, who in their right mind would tell their child to go ahead and lay on there and that you're going to be the sacrifice? And then the thing about it too is that when it says that you know how it says God never changes his mind or whatever. That's how that's saying okay, but he did because he said, you know what? There's a ram in the bush. Go, the ram.
Go get the ram instead. Yeah, Jazzy. We already know about the contradictions of the Bible. We ain't gonna get into that.
No,
okay?
right. But I'm just saying,
we gonna let that go, bro.
No, but I'm just
we
saying
gonna let that
the
go.
whole thing is just that when you start to think about stuff, do it really make sense?
And this is what I tell people: if your spirit of truth that we all have, that Yahshua said in the Bible, said your spirit of truth, it will activate you to what? Some things, a few things, no, all things. But guess what? You got to want to know all things.
So
Think
the
about
thing, check this out now. So going back to the story, now, if you heard somebody today in today's time,
you ain't even got to go no further.
talk about
You may knock them on the head and take the kid from them.
yo,
You ain't about to kill the kid, are you?
They got a big barbecue grill. And the little kid up there putting the bricks in there, and then you see them get ready to lay the child on the grill. What you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah,
you gonna do one thing. You gonna run towards the child or away because you accessory. You just sat there and watched that shit.
And they may have heard a voice that told them to do it too.
Facts. Mr. Arcade. Facts. He said omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscience. That's in us. That's our highest selves. Know it all. Everywhere there is, it's us. And every power there is, it's our power. Absolutely.
So that's what the whole thing is too. You got to take certain things as not like physical things that happen. Those are things that probably happen within yourself. Not saying that
Jonah
actually,
and the whale.
Well,
it's scientifically proven that a man cannot live in a whale for 3 days.
Or large fish. No.
Okay?
No,
scientifically proven. Like if you fall off a 10-story house, likelihood of death is about 99.9999999% on impact. Okay, so then what is the Jonah and the whale talking about? It's talking about your soul being swallowed up and being subjugated to the harshness of physical reality. It's talking about when you fell or you came down here willingly, because none of us fell. We fell, but we fell on purpose. Don't get it twisted. The only reason they say fall is because we were so high up. We were such in grace, infinite in the eternal's arms. So yes, it's a fall to come down here into decay. Absolutely. But we did it purposely. And we knew what we were getting into, and we knew why we were doing it and the benefits for doing it. And it didn't matter if it took 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, because we're infinite and eternal anyway. What is time? Go ahead, Jazzy.
There is no such thing as time.
There ain't no such thing as time. In fact, me and Jazzy, we started mastering time. Making time work for us.
For ourselves, yeah. Once you start to manipulate things for yourself, then you start to manipulate time. You say, hey, look, I'm going to make time instead of it working for someone else. let it work for me.
I'm gonna
You know
make it work for me. In fact, if you think about it, time is an entity that's only in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
You can't physically touch it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're even using things, eternal principles, and got you going by it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know that you're using your inner you to function through time. When you can control time, everything.
So
I don't know, man.
one of the first things, like when I first started, like, because, like, let's see, my daughter's born 2015, so 2013, 2014, 2015. That's when I was like listening to a lot of Brother Panic, like Remedy type stuff. Because the first thing that you really want to do is try to go ahead and start decalcifying your,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Got it.
It isn't calcified if you're black. It's going through entropy. Entropy. It's going through
Decay.
not really decay. It's going through like a muscle. If you don't use your muscle, say you bedridden for 6 months, when you go to get up, all your muscles gonna be weak. They go through entropy. They shrink because they're not being used.
Used, right.
So what you got to do is start using your pineal gland, your imagination, meditation, contemplation, looking at things that don't have anything to do with your five senses. Look on the inner you, and that slowly starts building your pineal gland back up. Like lifting weights. It's starting to run now. It's starting to get stronger. The more you do that.
See, right now it's a good time too, because the weather's warm just about anywhere. So you can go outside, you can get some sun, you can sun gaze, you can go ahead and walk barefooted outside.
When I ride my bike now, I realize riding my little e-bike, Jazzy, was just more about me getting some sun and just some clear thought. No one in my head. I don't put no speakers in my ear, I listen to no music. I just look and just allow nature. Be one with yourself. Be one with everything around you. That type stuff. That's that healing energy. Because once you can be one with everyone, now you can be one with people. You can forgive them. You can let shit go. You're not as angry. You're not as mad. Now you're more peaceful and loving. You want to know why a person did something, not just that they did something because you think they're trying to hurt you. Everything changes. As you start to build more and more awareness of self and love, because as you do, you start to build more and more awareness of what's around you.
So some of the things that I suggest that people do is like the fluoride, the toothpaste. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get that fluoride. There's some, what is it? I can't remember the name of the toothpaste.
I got a whole bunch of toothpastes in there.
No. But there's some that you can buy with no fluoride. But go ahead.
I go to the all natural store and I buy my toothpaste, I buy my deodorant, so I don't bring that stuff even in my house. I'm trying to, because right now is just like everything that we have naturally, you noticing that they actually giving you something that they don't want you to vibrate high. That's why fruits, vegetables, all of this. I'm learning now. You know what I mean? Once you get to the point where you can
that's why they're taking the seeds out of the fruit.
I just brought 2 watermelons in there now. I'm about to cut them up, and I'm going
Bro,
back.
I did what you did. I had a huge water, $12 huge, juiced it, drank it. You can just feel just going through you. Taking it all with it. Come on through. Come on.
I mean, it's just though. If you want to go ahead and that's what people have to do is find a way to go ahead and open your mind consciously.
So for y'all that don't understand. Even though back in slavery, our great people used to eat horribly, that watermelon and the black seeds and shit that was in it was like a lubricant. It went through and cleaned them out and hydrated them. That's what, what's the brother name that talk about H3O2, the water and fruit and how you can eat your water. Yes, how you can eat your water. Talks about how the tree has to get the water, falls on the leaves, sucks it up through its roots, then it distributes it out to the leaves and in the fruit. That's special water. But when there's no seeds, it has no power in it. Ain't that something? They done figured out how to take the goddamn power out the HDO2. Shit is crazy. That's why you always want seeded grapes, seeded watermelon, seeded apples, seeded banana, whatever it is, it better have a seed in it.
They trying to do it. The thing is, what I'm realizing, like you were saying, what's the word that you use? But basically, when you're saying photosynthesis earlier, the whole thing is,
Photosynthesis in the skin that happens in our skin when we turn darker. That's photosynthesis. Same thing like plants.
we are
Go ahead.
plants. We are basically plants.
Right.
So
Well,
the
our
whole
skin
thing
used
is,
to be green, and before we got iron, we once our Bathory gland got removed, we started rusting up.
mm,
This brown darkness is a rust. We're supposed to be green like the plants.
mm.
That's
And
why
then
in Egypt you got Osiris, the green
Green
one.
Man, yeah, yeah. And the thing is, it's just like coming down to the point. Like now, it's just like if you're a plant, would you feed your plants? What would you feed your plants? You're gonna make sure you give it the proper water, the proper sunlight, the proper nutrients. If you
Facts.
are gonna, you're not just gonna go ahead and add pork rinds to your plant. You're just not gonna do it.
You ain't gonna give it fish bones, fried fish bones after you done it.
I mean, it's so important. So that's the whole thing is. It's just like so. How I was asking you, so some of the things that happened with me, like the things when I on the beginning, the first thing that came was the thirst for knowledge. So that was the biggest thing, and
Right.
that's why I was knocking on your door. Mental.
What you
You
got?
know, hey, and then we'll start talking for like 2 minutes, and then the whole thing is like 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, I had so many questions. But I'm thankful that I had somebody that I can come to. That's been in it longer than me, because a lot of people, like you said, that's why I was asking you from the beginning with you. You said there was really nobody around you like that. And then you found out
No
it was
one.
like, hey,
No,
but
it
you know what
wasn't
the
not
thing
really
is?
nobody. It was nobody. Wasn't no. Remember when we were growing up? Ain't no YouTube, ain't no Facebook. Okay, whether if you know the person, you had to call them and talk to them on the phone.
Mhm. But you know what? We were able to maintain so much more then. I mean, it's just like even knowing people
Well,
personally.
no, I'm gonna be real with you. Knowing phone numbers, memorizing them in your head, activates certain parts of the brain. Knowing how to read a map
Mm-hmm,
activates certain parts. Everything you got to do manually. Reading a book.
mm-hmm,
There's a difference between you reading a book and having the book read to you.
to
That's
you.
a totally two different ways of learning.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Okay, the most
mm-hmm.
effective one
It's for
if
you to
you
read it.
can read it, because
Mm-hmm,
your mind is going to open it up and give you the pictures you need. But if
mm-hmm,
you hear it, the words kind of move a little faster. When you read it, it's more of a slower story.
mm-hmm,
If it's
mm-hmm,
getting read to you, it's sped up a little bit because now
mm-hmm,
you ain't got to read it. You only got to hear it.
mm-hmm.
But
Now I'm
when
gonna have
you
more
read it,
time
it
to
goes
read
in.
now. I'm
Huh?
gonna have more. I'll have more time to read now. But
Where
before,
you at that Metu Netter?
I'm picking back up
Where
now.
you at? Where you at? Look, I
I'm
got it right.
picking back.
Where you at, man?
Hey,
Yo,
I'm picking.
for
I'm picking.
everyone, if you want to learn about the meat suit, your physical body, how it works, how it's activated, how you activate spiritual power through breath, how you know what type of spiritual plane you're on, how you break it down, how you can prove that you are omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscience. All that is in here. The Kabbalah, the lightning flash, the tree of life. Excellent book.
Mm-hmm.
Can't talk
Stress
about
it
it
enough.
enough. From
Hey,
who? The Metu Netter.
hey. I have more time now because you know what? I need my cards from you. So I want to get through the
I meant
book
to
so I can
been
get
meant
my
to send
cards.
them damn cards. I
I
asked my
saw.
wife. No, I'm gonna send it, but I know you ain't been reading the book.
Yeah, I am now though. I will be
We'll
now.
see.
Okay. Hey,
So once
y'all my
again, Bobby
witness.
Hammond, Brother Panic, brother, all of you say, man, you gotta read, bro, and you gotta read
You gotta
abundantly.
read. Yeah, you
Make it
gotta
your
read.
best friend. Carry a book around with you, and you'll see how many times you really have time to read in a day when you got that book with you to open up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you make time, go to a park, sit down, and just read, because you'll read it, then you'll stop. And because you're in a peaceful park, all these visions will start coming to you, like breaking it down for you. Like, yeah, they can go to this and that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Versus if you're reading it somewhere on a busy subway, noise, smells, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But once
But
again,
once you become
in
a
the book,
reader,
it
it don't
actually
matter
tells
where you
you
are.
if you have the correct breath control, you can control the different trance states you go through. You could put yourself in a trance state to be able to read. I don't give a damn if a jackhammer's behind you. You can't hear it. All you can do is focus on what you're reading. These are all states of consciousness that we all have. I wish I'd have known this when I was going through college. You can have what do they call it? A photographic memory. All that. It's just how you receive it, what state of conscious you're in when you're reading or learning the material. It's all it depends on. Simple, but not easy.
That's what my son, remember I told you my son told me that? He was like 12 years old. I was like, he said, Dad, life is simple. It's just not easy. I was like,
it's just not easy. It's just not easy.
That's why I said sometimes, man, my kids just like, oh my God. I mean, it's just amazing, especially my daughter, man. I mean, the stuff that, I mean, like the jewelry that she's been making that we've been taking to the events and stuff, one of a kind, mental. I mean, nothing is ever the same. And then she sits there and does it like it's nothing. I mean, and then she's like, okay.
Well, you got to remember, how old is she?
She's 8.
So she's still in that half spiritual, half physical realm. The only reason she's in that is because you allow her to do it and you cater to it. You know what I'm saying? You give legitimacy to that realm. Most parents do just the opposite. Come out of that fantasy bullshit and get into this real world. What looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. And don't get it wrong. I can understand that, because if you can't function out here and you're all inner you, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? You'll be too loving, too trusting. Motherfuckers eat you up. You know how this shit go, Jazzy. So I understand both ways. It's just a very fine, that sort of truth. It's double-edged. The more you learn, sometimes the more it cuts. I mean, you can't even. I mean, I would love to break it down better, but I can't.
What's that word that we use that we went through for like a month? It start with a B. You got to have what?
A B?
Yeah, it starts with a B. It was our favorite word for like a month when we was talking, when we was doing car talks.
What?
Balance.
What was it?
Balance.
Huh? Balance. Oh no, that was your word. That wasn't my word. That was your word. You used to always say, "Nah, bro, you need balance."
You got balance. You got.
Ain't got no balance. You ain't got no balance. You're gonna fall one way or the other. If you got balance, you straight. You ain't falling.
You go.
That's the whole purpose of balance. You ain't even wavering if you have balance. You right in the middle. You're straight. Perfect. In alignment with whatever's going on.
That's it. Alignment. Having true authenticity. And that comes from having true authenticity within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Once you're able to reach
being
that
authentic.
point, nothing else matters.
I like that quote when she said authentic. You know what's more powerful than love? Authenticity. When someone is saying what they know to be true and knowing it's true.
It's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not thinking, not believing it's true, knowing it's true.
But that's love.
And speaking it proudly. Like, hey, it is what it is if you don't like it. Trying to take you to the next round, baby. This is what we talking about. Everything that most people have dealt with, futuristic, come on. Everything, what more can they give you? Even us that ain't rich. A jet ski, a boat? I mean, really? Then what? Will Smith said, you know something, I wish everyone could know what it feels like to have the money to buy anything and you've bought everything you want. Still empty. Still empty.
Yo, that dude, Young Pharaoh, I had posted it like I think last week, where he had a dollar bill up, and then he was talking about how
he's breaking it down.
He said that first of all, they got you chasing this, and then all of your symbols and everything is all located. He said, look at
all over.
He said, turn the dollar over. It's a pyramid, and then it's the top is cut off. It's separating the higher self from the lower. And then he was just saying, he's like, this is worth nothing. You're chasing something that means nothing. This is not wealth. Wealth is going ahead and having it where it's, from within you.
You got it on the inside. Because when you know, it cannot be taken. You can take me anywhere, Siberia, anywhere. I will still know.
Mm-hmm. That's true wealth.
That's wealth. I will
Mm-hmm.
still know. No matter
Mm-hmm.
what you do to me, I will
Mm-hmm.
still know.
Still no.
Unless you
Yeah.
kill me. And I'll still know because
No.
now I'm back into even knowing more. Thank you. You just freed me from this flesh meat
Don't
suit.
allow them to fear you with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
Don't
just
allow
the
them to
beginning.
scare you with
It's
death.
just the beginning.
Death is just the beginning.
Mhm.
That's what I tell people all the time.
Hey,
Why
so
you think nobody want to come back? They
what
don't
would
even
you?
come back and be like, yo, man, death is all that. They don't even come back and say that. Nah, bro, I'm gone, bro.
That's what
That shit
Panic
dead.
was. Panic was like how to go and never come back. That was his biggest thing, and he said that for the last 5 years. He was talking about.
I'd have go and never, and I'm
Okay.
telling you, they offered that nigga time. Yo, bro, you ain't got to go back, and I'm out. He probably didn't even think about it, and I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Take that meat suit.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Hey, so what would you like? Because I know a lot of people like where we started off. I just wanted to go ahead and for people that may want to know or have questions about this way of lifestyle or
Mhm.
this truth and knowledge. What would be some suggestions that you would want to give to somebody? I know books would be number one.
The first thing I would tell all of us, everyone that's seeking to be spiritual, seeking to find the best you cannot lie to yourself.
Mm-hmm,
Be truthful to yourself.
mm-hmm,
Go in that room, talk to you about the lies you done told you,
mm-hmm,
who you are and what you are. You know who you are.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You know what you are. You know what you ain't. You know if
mm-hmm,
you hang around a crowd that ain't you.
mm-hmm,
All that. You got to really be truthful to yourself. Once you
mm-hmm,
get that down, just being true to
mm-hmm,
yourself, this
mm-hmm,
opens up a whole energy vortex of the energy that you were using to try to act like something you wasn't.
mm-hmm,
Because once you start flowing to who you really are, the spirit sweeps down and starts showing you shit.
mm-hmm,
This is where faith comes in. Faith
mm-hmm,
requires evidence of
mm-hmm,
things not seen by others, but seen by you.
mm-hmm,
When you would get these downloads and how the spirit is showing you shit, now the substance of things hoped for is building. Because
mm-hmm,
now you want other people to see what you're seeing.
mm-hmm.
But
That's the
you're in a
biggest
world
thing
and not
right
of
there.
it.
That's the biggest thing right there. Because once you find out, like, man, this is so good. The first thing you want to do is
This
just
shit is
like
so great, right?
you want everybody to feel it and everybody
But
to know.
before you get to the great part, you got to go through the challenge, the trials, the tribulations.
Hmm.
And it's only great because you're used to it now.
Right.
I'm used to it.
Hmm.
Like I said, I didn't have a chance to go back. I looked
Hmm.
backwards and there was nowhere to go.
That's why I
It was
said,
darkness. There was nowhere to go. There was
people
only
still
forward.
people, like I go to church every now and then, for my parents and stuff. I still honor. I'm still gonna show love to my parents because that's what they
Uh-huh.
love. That's what they, and they don't ask me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, baby, can you? Yeah, of course, mom, dad, if you want me to come, I'll come by. So, but the thing is, when I'm there, people be like, when you gonna become a preacher like your daddy and brother? I was like, never.
No, just tell them I'm not a preacher. I'm a teacher.
Yeah,
And I don't make students. I make teachers.
I'm just like, right. I'm just like, it's not gonna happen. I was like, what? I'm so overjoyed inside. I mean, it's just like I
Well,
can't
I'm going to be real. There is
I
no
can't
such thing as going back. Once you reach a certain stage, if you say you're going back, you're only staying where you're at.
yeah, yeah,
You're not going back anywhere because
yeah.
you can't go from knowing to unknowing. You
That
can't do it. It's
that's
impossible.
that's my point right there, mentor.
It's
It's like
impossible.
after you taste like you said, like when they went into the new land and then they seen the big grapes and everything, the size of, you know, so you go
Watermelons and apples and fruit abundance, and
and then you go
you gonna
back
go
to
back into the desert?
and eat a berry. Come on, man, it don't make sense.
Like I
It's
said,
not happening. It's
and
not
guess
happening.
how much energy it takes a person to stop moving forward. That's the wickedness. That's the evil part of it. You won't even let yourself progress
Mhm,
because you see you're going somewhere that you got to go alone. That could be a problem for some people when
mhm,
you know you have to go it by yourself.
mhm,
Because the most of the journey, that even the stuff that me and you've talked to, the work had to be done by you.
mhm.
in your dream, slaying people. I'm saying that the work has to be done by you. I can talk to you about it. I can expose you to higher truths. I can do whatever I can to help your inner self enlighten you, because that's all I'm doing. It ain't really me. It's my spirit talking to your spirit.
Hey, so I'm gonna just touch a little bit on one of my day ones from my brothers I grew up with on my street.
Mm-hmm.
We do this thing. It's like it's like 4 or 5 of us. One of them one AJ died, so it's like a group of us still. We still try to get together like monthly. It'd be kind of hard for
Uh-huh.
breakfast or something like that, but we do birthdays and everything, right? So it's one of our sisters. She's the only one, and it's the rest of us are our brothers. So we every year I'm gonna just touch on it, and he may hear it. I'm just based this on truth. Okay, so every year for her time around her birthday, it, we always go for everybody else's birthday, but like hers is always falls like Mother's Day, this, that, or whatever. So
Okay.
it's a real hard time because
I know
normally
what you're
she's out of
saying.
time, and some people, parents, mothers, and here, this, that, or whatever. So it's a hard time. So, but she gets shorted every year. So me, I try to make sure I don't care who birthday it is. I'm gonna if we ain't doing nothing, I'm sending my money. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna go ahead. So when my time comes for my birthday, I don't hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? So one of my brothers, he gonna be mad at this, but he maybe he does need to hear this.
Go ahead.
So
Let me hear it.
so this year he called me. He's like, I said, what are we gonna do for for our sister for her birthday? He was like, man, I'm gonna put something together, this, that, or whatever. He said, but I might be out of town, this, that. I said, well, look, I said, bro, if you're gonna do anything, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna wait for y'all. I'm gonna send my monetary gift to her, cash after this. I said, if I were you and you're gonna wait to the last minute, don't do it because she always so I sent mine. Okay. He had some things come up like 3 deaths in his family, this, that, or whatever,
Uh-huh.
whatever. But if he would have had listened to me when I told him, I said, bro, just send money. I said, just
When
send
you
money.
had it.
Yeah.
Go
And
ahead.
so he goes out of town, this, that, or whatever. And then I sent my so we got a text thread with just us from my day ones from what because
Uh-huh.
we've been friends since
Forever.
70s. Yeah. So so she comes in there, she's going off, bah, 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 bah. And then she's like, you know, Jazz the only one, this, that, or whatever, whatever. And then so my one brother, he got upset because he was like, um, what he did was he went ahead and their family, their real family,
Mm-hmm.
their cousins. Okay, so one of our brothers, their birthday is like around the same time. He went and brought him something because he was in the store. He's just like, oh yeah, So he brought something. He seen him and he gave him his gift, right?
To
And
her.
then no,
Oh, to
to
him.
and then he just happened to be in a bar and it was his birthday, so he brought everybody around the drinks or whatever, right? And then so she's like, this nigga, I'm his cousin, and he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't give, because she ran into the dude and was like, look, I got this for my birthday, this, that, whatever, whatever. And I was
Right.
like, I said, I told you, man. I said, send the money, but you want to go buy Gucci, this, that, and whatever. Sometimes you don't need all of that. Just send the money, So he mad at me right now because we were supposed to go see Slick Rick tonight, right? And then so I told him, I said, I called him. I said, man, I said, yo, bro, I said, you're wrong. He's like, man, fuck all that, this, that. I said, bro, you need to call and apologize. I said, because she don't seem our other boy, you brought him uh his birthday gift, he wearing it. She wasn't at the bar. You brought everybody rounds and everything.
Right.
And then you still and he don't see any. I was like, bro, you're wrong. So I told him about one thing about me. If if it's the truth, I'm gonna tell the truth, even if it hurt. You know what,
Yeah.
nigga, you're gonna love me regardless. I've known you since I was 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? So get over it. You know what I'm saying? So I told him he got mad, and then so I texted him yesterday. I said, No, I'm getting my ticket. We still going, this, that, whatever. Nigga ain't called me back.
He in his feelings.
I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him like, nigga, we don't do that. I said,
Hey, you know something? It's funny you say that. I was telling someone the other day how an emotional man is a problem, maybe even a killer. Because if you get emotional as a man and can't control yourself, you could kill a person quick. And I just said men, regardless of color. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, a lot of our kids are these emotionally unstable young men.
Mm-hmm. I think his thing is what. See, and I told him, I said, listen, I said, let me tell you something. I said, we've been around each other for damn near 50 years. You know what I'm saying? 45 plus, because they're older than me. So they were friends even before, you know what I'm saying, before I moved over there. So I'm like, dude, I know what ticks you off. I know what ticks her off. I know what ticks this person off, that
Right.
person off.
We know
So
these things.
I said, so why even go there? I was like, you know what? I said, what you should do? He said, nah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you this, that, or what. And I said, nah, you ain't gonna get me. I don't have nothing to do with it. I said,
give me
you do
nothing.
it. Now, if you'd have did like I told you, I could have. And then he all these other things. I said, bro, you know what? So the thing is just like sometimes we have to take accountability. You know what I'm saying? And like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, look, my bad, this, that, whatever. You know,
Either
mental. I
accepted
come
or
to you,
rejected.
I like mental, bro. You know what? I fucked up. This, that, whatever. My bad. You know what I'm saying? Let's get past this. I'm not gonna keep going back and forth where it's just like this and like that. Look, I fucked up. I'm a man. Hey, things happen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna go ahead and try to make excuses for my mishaps. That's what I'm not gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he'll be mad, but he'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what you gonna do? Not talk to me? And every time I'm see, nigga, what the fuck wrong with you? Don't be pitching out on me on those stuff.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, but accountability is one of the things that too. That's the biggest part. You know, like I've learned. You know what I'm saying? Through the
Well,
shadow work part.
it's hard to be accountable if you're always trying to get over. Or if you like the lie. How you gonna be accountable when you like doing things that make you non-accountable?
Mm-hmm. And then what happens sometimes though, when you're not accountable, this is what I learned, is when you're not accountable and then you bring other people into, or you get not willingly, but you tie people into something or that you wasn't expecting it to be. And then when you finally wake up to that moment and you say, well, look, you know what? I can't do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then it's hard to explain, you know what I'm saying? And then you try to go ahead and do it. It's like, you know what? That's the old me. I can't be that person.
I'm not that person anymore.
And then so it may cause grief, but you know what? If you go ahead and follow and just break away, sometimes you got to break away and love the people for how you first met them and leave it as that. You know what I'm saying? And still continue to love and show, but you can't go down the roads that's going to divide, you from yourself. And that's the biggest thing, accountability, because you have to wake up with yourself in the morning, not with
But those are
anybody
the
else.
roads they like. They like the roads of division. They like the roads of mockery, of power. They like all that. I mean, our biggest issue is we've been taught the like to desire the wrong shit. All the wrong shit. In fact, most everything they teach you, they want you should turn your back on it. That's how bad it is. And we get this indoctrination since elementary school. Remember, I showed you they had a thing. What was it, 7th, 8th graders? Before they call it the Obama effect. Before Obama, they took this test just to see where they were at. And since none of the books reflected black people doing anything good but slavery, it showed how they just had low self-confidence. They couldn't do it. Couldn't pass the test. But then after Obama was president, same kids that 20% passed before, now 95% of them pass. Because now they say a man of themselves looking like them can do so. And when we grew up, we seen none of that. They know this. They They know if you put a bunch of people in a crowded environment, neighborhood, what's going to happen. They did it with rats. You can feed them the best food, whatever. If they're in a crowded and packed environment, violence is going to happen. It's mandatory.
That
So
lab
a lot of
experiment with those rats, that's one of the things too they was talking about.
Yeah. So what do you think projects are? Projects. I don't see white people projects. I don't see Chinese projects, Indian projects, none of it. I don't see other cultures. So how we got, when we see a bunch of black people together, we in the project. Why? How is that? Because it's a design. How can I go to any city in any country in the United States and find the same black poverty, drugs, prostitution in every black neighborhood? How is that? They got white neighborhoods. I can go to them. Ain't nothing wrong. Everything's in the black neighborhood. How can that be in every fucking neighborhood? How can that be? Because it's designed.
That's where it's gonna take the ones that have consciousness to go ahead and build with other people that have conscience to make change. Because
what it's gonna take is us building with these millionaires. How we got all these millionaires, billionaires, and they ain't helping nobody? It's in the goddamn contract. They can spend as much money as they want, but you go turn to help a neighborhood or something, nigga. Oh no, that we ain't doing. You ain't helping your own. Why you think all these NBA players, all these NFL players, all these motherfuckers making all this goddamn money? Buying cars, 50 cars, 3-4 houses, diamond, gold, all that goddamn bullshit, but ain't helping the neighborhood.
If every one of those celebrities took 5% of what they have and they say, look, let's go ahead and build back into where we come from. Everybody that signed a contract, whether it's sports, entertainment, movies, music, no matter what, a Nike deal, whatever. I just want to get 5%, and then everybody that's
you're not understanding, sir. They won't let you do it.
No.
You start giving back, you're gonna be out of a job.
Hey.
Or you do something that directly impacts black people that lifts them, you will be out of a job or killed.
Yeah.
Either way, it doesn't mind. They don't care either way.
They'll take you out.
They don't care either way. They'll take you out. Dr. Sebi, he was changing the whole medical industry. They killed him. No, bro, you're not about to say everything is mucus and how to cure mucus. And now the average person don't got to go to the hospital when they got a cough, when they can go out there and eat some dandelion root, that weed that you outlawed. You can go out there, eat dandelion root and be cured in 24 hours. See what I'm saying? Go get some ginger root. Go get any of them roots back in the day with our grandparents. They weren't doctors, but we was never sick. And if we was, they gave us something to drink and it was gone.
Anything that you're doing today that's going to affect Big Pharma, the oil,
come on,
Hollywood,
come on,
let's see,
and music industry,
and entertainment, yeah. If you go ahead to any of those things, you're going up against.
Because if there is a Satan or a devil or someone that wants to do harm, that's where they're at, and they're waiting for you to come to them.
Yeah,
willingly.
And then the whole thing is, you know what? Like so many people, this is what's so wrong with people that is talented. If you do what you love and you're doing it well, it's gonna come to you. You don't have to go out.
Whether you're doing it for free or getting paid.
Somebody's going to recognize you for what you do, and they're going to come to you. You don't have to go to them. You know what? That's the whole thing is. Like, if you can be one of the best basketball players, and all you do is, work on playing out on the rec. But you know what? It's going to come. Somebody's going to be like, yo, this dude out here, and it's going to circulate. Even if you singing a song and you got one song on a demo that you got on SoundCloud or something like that, and then you put it on your IG, and then everybody's like, yo, did y'all hear this person? Did y'all hear this person? They coming to you. You can't, by the time you're trying to go to them, you could have been concentrating on yourself and been a whole lot further. And that's the whole thing is worry about yourself. Like the little girl said, worry about yourself, Linda. You know what I'm saying? Can I help you? No, worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be true to yourself. Everything will come to you. That's what
Being
I'm
true to
realizing.
yourself is the Ashe words.
Hey, I'm
Be
learning
true to
that,
yourself.
man.
Hey, well, we've been on a while.
I
We
know,
about to
I
get
know.
off this thing. We've been on here for a minute.
Oh,
We didn't
before
even
we
get into
go,
the book of Enoch.
hey, that's okay. That's okay because this needed to be said. All of this stuff, it was appointed, and it was on my heart today. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell Mental we're gonna do something. We'll do a pop up.
Tempo.
And this week I'm ready. But
Right.
I
We'll
want
do
to,
a podcast.
and we can go in the book, or if we can go ahead and freestyle it, or bring somebody on. But before we
Tempo.
do go, ones that know me, that live upstate here in New York, I got a call from one of my homeboys. He has this R&B show that he does on Wednesdays. So, when I was doing music, and this is the funny thing, Mental, a lot of people that lived away that was doing stuff, they all moving back here now. So I got a call yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one guy was in Texas, big producer. He trying to get me to go back into music. I was like, bro, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Why
I'm,
not?
I,
Is the
I'm
money right?
I mean, right now he's a major producer, but the thing is,
If you was producing country music, you wouldn't give a damn. You still have a better enjoyment than what you're doing now. So what we
I,
talking about?
I'm enjoying myself now. That's what I'm talking
Look,
about.
it ain't even
I
the same vibe no more, huh?
I enjoy making my candles. I enjoy my daughter making her jewelry. I'm enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I'm not
But
chasing
remember
anything.
what you said. You said last year you were going to get back into what you love. Producing is what you love. You said that. That's out your mouth.
Yeah, but you know what? What I did, I brought me a bass. I played my bass. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
all.
I,
I
I
wouldn't
made
dismiss it. What does he want you to do?
no. He was like, because he real big on streaming. You know what, Mental? I can put
See?
you. I can put
See?
you onto him. You know
See
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying?
Hey, that's an avenue. Okay, so that's a good thing for you. But see, with me, I want to concentrate on my this candle stuff. Building that
No,
brand.
because
And
then if that's the case, shit, I can do a lot of different things instead of actually
you could do your book through that.
book right through the streaming instead of actually having to publish it through and let them take all my money.
Well, he got the whole thing where he got like a whole stream room where it's just streaming on all
Well, I need to
platforms.
talk to him.
I
We'll
got you.
set that up off camera.
Okay. So, anyways, so I talked to him yesterday and my lawyer, Mike, my lawyer,
Uh-huh.
Mike. So they both called me yesterday, and then that was one thing, and then also I got the ones that's here in Rochester. I'm inviting y'all on the 23rd of this month. They're gonna honor me and give me a recognition, like I guess for doing music and doing shows here in this city. And I thought it was pretty cool because nobody ever really thinks about me. You know what I'm saying? And all the
Hmm.
things that I did and put a lot of people on.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
what's
so
up.
so I mean, y'all welcome to come. It's gonna be on a Wednesday
When is
night.
it?
It's on not this Wednesday, the next Wednesday, the
Oh,
20.
coming quick.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, but you know what? You're not here. I'll stream it. It's gonna be live.
There you
So,
go.
so just but I'm gonna have people. I'm gonna tell people, come out, support me, and the ones that were there with me from the
Oh
beginning.
shit,
I
y'all
want
hear this, right, people? He talked about all this stuff last year, and now this shit is starting to come through. For him, all of us watch. Before you know it, we gonna be really doing some things, y'all.
So it's a smaller level, but you know what? I'm honored to go ahead for him to call me. It's like, yo,
Facts.
So I was like, yeah, I'll be there. So I'm telling all my friends and family to come out and support. But another thing, if you haven't gotten Mental's book, you this way. If you haven't got Mental's book, go get it. Overstanding Darkness.
Overstanding Darkness.
It's on all platforms. And also you can go, I mean, you can put the links later
Oh,
on.
coming soon, Cosmic Awareness,
Yep.
Overstanding Darkness 2.
And then I promise you that y'all are my witness. I'm gonna pick up my reading again now for there we go. There we go. I had my daughter's mom started reading. Remember I told you, Mental, she told you she got scared. So she
Oh
put
my
it down.
God. Scared of what? There's nothing scary in the book.
But you know what? after that, her eyes, and I was like, because she starts seeing things and everything. So it's,
started seeing the truth.
Everything she started, like she's like, you don't see that. Remember, I told you, she was out. I was like, I don't see anything. So
your mom or your girlfriend or your mom?
My daughter's mom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she was talking about. She took a picture of something swinging from the tree. I was like, there's nothing out there. And so she's having all these visions and stuff. So I'm trying to keep her encouraged to keep reading it too.
Oh, so, how far can she be in the book? None of it talks about visions. And I mean, as you build, you've read the beginning part.
Yeah, but the thing is, Mental, you got to realize that there's somebody that is like coming from, first being Catholic and then going to a little bit of Christianity. So now going to spirituality, she's trying to find her way. So it's all new to her. So, so I don't want to freak her out.
And she goes more towards fear. I know what you're saying. So just all you got to tell her is all that is her. Everything is her.
So what I'm about to do is snatch my book back. Tell her to read your book first.
Mine's a little easy. Hey, Facebook, it's time for us to depart. Thank you, y'all people, for showing up, coming out.
This was live. This was fun today.
Amun-Ra, thank you. Mystery Arcade, thank you. Occult University, thank you. Miss Desi, thank you. Next week, we will get back to the Book of Knowledge. We did a little something just to recap, kind of show how far we've come. And we've come a long way. Right. And by this time next year, if there is a next year, we came a even longer way. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So stay tuned in to Car Talk. Throughout the week, we'll have a little spontaneous talk. Pop-up sessions. Peace and love. All right, Jeremy.
All right, bro. Love.